Yo, yo, yo. What's up?
Squash the Beef episode 22.
Very good.
2-2, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had your, last week you had your own episode with...
with Steven and his friend. Yeah, and now we have Jamie Kim, right?
Jamie Cho.
Oh, Jamie
It's
Cho.
all right.
How dare you?
Sorry.
I there's
just
so
gasped.
many.
You
There's
son
so
of a
many.
bitch.
Just
Brian
guess.
Lee.
Actually, you got it right.
Very good. He
You
was
got
a
it
guest
right.
too.
All right.
Oh, cool, man.
Jamie, tell us about your... So, Jamie, what do you do here in Korea right now? Like, full-time
well,
job?
You know, it's funny. I teach kindergarten as my full-time job, but the way I think about it is I lift full-time and I teach part-time. That's just how I see it, and that's how I'm going to say it. So that's what I'm doing here is I lift.
Yeah, man. I saw you on YouTube. Like, I saw a video of you squatting.
Mm-hmm.
It was for, what was it? IPF,
Oh, IPF
right?
Korea, yeah.
International Powerlifting Federation.
That's right.
Yeah. And dude, you can squat. What was it, like almost 500 pounds, I think?
No,
Jesus
not
Christ,
no,
it was like 450, 460,
I think
something.
That's like, it was more like 650, but...
No, the most I've ever squatted in competition, I think, is 205, which really isn't. My numbers aren't really special in the world of powerlifting, but
In pounds.
oh, in 440, I think, something like that, 440,
Right.
445.
Yeah.
So, but my numbers are nothing special, like in the world of powerlifting, like because powerlifting is kind of in like its infancy now in Korea, and I've been training powerlifting for like 5 or 6 years now. I'm able to do that, but I think pretty soon we're gonna see like powerlifting boom in Korea because month by month the guy who's in charge is getting so many like young kids into the sport. So it's gonna get really exciting soon,
something that definitely sparked my interest was like here in Korea, they're all about all their methods of like just training is just like the bodybuilding kind of route.
Yeah.
So like they don't really mess around with heavy weights. So I was looking at you, I was like, oh, here's a Korean dude who's like actually throwing around like some real weight. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
How'd you find Jamie, Bill, by the way? Because you found Jamie's like YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. So I probably typed like powerlifting in Korea, something
Yeah.
like that, and that's where I found him. Yeah.
It took me a long time to
To actually like get up there, like in the on
you
the
know,
page.
it was funny because when I first came to Korea, I was trying to find a place to do powerlifting. So you neighbor powerlifting in Hangul, right? But then you don't find anything. Powerlifting in Korea is a facelift for people. Yeah. So a lot of times when you Google that shit, it's like facelift. And I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking the facelift. I want to lift some heavy weight. But now these days, I'm proud to say that if you do neighbor powerlifting, you either find the IPF Korea, the coach, Idegir, that's his name, my channel, or you find these guys from Suwon.
Which is Suwon. That's like
there's
random.
There's a weird powerlifting offshoot in Suwon. These guys do their own thing. IPF and them don't get along, so yeah,
what do they do?
it's a weird. I guess it's kind of weird, but I'm happy to say that it's there. Like it's there now.
Wow.
Like compared to 8 years ago when I first got here, there was none of that. But now, when you can search it and you can find some cool stuff, you know, and when a lot of foreigners they come to Korea, they want to find, especially powerlifters when they come to Korea, they want to find something, so they Google it, and I'm happy to say they can find stuff now, find gyms to go to and train the way they want to train, and they can also find people to connect with, to meet up and train. Yeah, so I think it's gotten way better. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. It has its own community now here. But like that's one of the things that you're trying to do. You're like, I saw one of your like vlogs, I guess. I think you only have one vlog maybe.
I stop talking.
You don't do
I mean, I want to. This year, it's kind of like a thing that I want to start doing is vlogging a bit more, but I'm lazy.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of doing it kind of like a long version of a vlog here.
A little bit.
Yeah. So it'll get you started with that. But yeah.
By the way, we're wearing Jamie's t-shirt. Like, is this like your YouTube channel? Like,
Soul Strong.
We can talk about it at the end.
This is it. Right here.
Yeah. Well, Soul Strong is just something I came up with. Just because I train in Seoul, all the powerlifters that I know are from Seoul, and I wanted there to be something that could like connect an image of strength in Korea. Like, I don't give a shit about 6-pack abs. I don't give a shit about looking beach ready. I care about being strong.
Right.
So I made Soul Strong to try to represent.
That's so cool, dude.
Just change the perception of Korean lifting.
Yeah, and your YouTube channel is called Heroic Barbell, right? Yeah. That's where they can find you. And this is the shirt where it has his brand right here.
Yeah, dude.
It's got a Metallica theme. It's pretty cool, man.
Do you actually sell these t-shirts too, or like are you
I make them as a hobby actually, because it's just for fun. Whenever there's like a powerlifting meet, I'll bring like a box and just give them to the
bro, that's
athletes.
marketing right there.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just hope that they like the shirts. I mean, I'm just trying to promote.
Yeah, I love them, man.
Powerlifting in Korea. That's what I'm trying to do the most is make it, because the more athletes there are, the more fun it will be for everyone. And I think if you were to see some of these competitions, like right now it's only the athletes watching, but it's fun because I've never seen Korean people like get really riled up. This country is very humble. Like it's like, bro, you can squat 300 kg. They're like, oh, it's nothing special. But then when you go to these, when you go to these meets and you see these guys like putting up big numbers, you see their whole team just like, they're cursing, they're cursing and shit like that at their friends, and they're psyching each other up by like smacking them on the back and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Slap in the face.
Yeah, it's like some of the stuff is it's cool to see now, like that kids are getting out of the shell and like
that's cool, man.
Embracing that like that beast, inside. So I think it's only positive. Yeah.
So that's like cool. That whole culture of powerlifting and stuff. Do you think like how did they get influenced? Because like I've never met a powerlifter in Korea yet. A Korean person I've never met,
because
like, it's a single one,
because they're few and far between. I think that a lot of the people who are doing powerlifting now in Korea, like the guys that are good, who are getting the medals, they all are like coaches, or they have like a PT shop, or they own gyms, or they work as personal trainers. And personal trainer schedules is pretty grueling. It's like 6 in the morning to like 12 at night.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, like PT shop is just a gym just for personal training.
For personal training. So like you can't just walk in.
You can't walk in and just be like, "Can I sign up for a month?" No. Like,
you have to pay like $800 for a week, 3 times a week. It's like, wow, I don't know.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
So it's pretty tough. But these trainers, they work such crazy hours that it's not likely that you're going to see them on the street, having time to hang out or anything like that.
Like my curiosity is this, because like I mean I know a couple, like we know like Korean people, but like it's so, in this culture it's so difficult to get into powerlifting. I feel they kind of, people maybe make it so that it's weird if you are extremely bulky, like or you're like really strong. They kind of see you as like you're kind of dumb, but you're like just
like a meathead.
Yeah, like a meathead. But in Korea, they just call it a holku. The Hulk.
Yeah.
So that's like their image of powerlifting a lot of times, like or like being really big and strong.
You know, like, when I like tell people like, oh, like I do powerlifting exercise, and they're like, what's powerlifting? So I think, first of all, I don't think they know like what powerlifting is.
They only know bodybuilding.
They know bodybuilding because Korea these days, bodybuilding in Korea is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's some real big freaks here.
There are.
I mean, Ronnie Coleman came to Korea at some point. I mean, so Korean people know bodybuilding, but I don't think they know powerlifting. But I mean, my mom gives me shit for being too fat all the time. I mean, they're like, "Why do you get so fat?" And it's like, well, because I want to be strong.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I don't care about 6-pack ab. I care about my total. Like how much can I squat, bench, or deadlift.
Right.
Yeah.
And in order to do that well, you got to have a power belly.
Yeah.
And I can say I'm proud of mine. So So yeah. But people just don't understand. Even people in the States, they don't understand why you get so fat to lift weights.
Yeah. And that's why I like really respected you. I was like, wow, this guy's like trying to like get his word out there, like about powerlifting, like especially here in Korea. Like after watching your vlog, I was like, wow, he's really like trying to promote powerlifting. That's so cool. You don't see it anywhere here in Korea, or maybe I just haven't seen the videos, but especially you, like you were speaking in English. So you want to talk more about that? You grew up in Scarsdale,
I grew up
right?
in Westchester, New York, more specifically Scarsdale, New York. I grew up in like a predominantly like white neighborhood, and I told you guys before,
consider yourself white?
I to be honest, I thought that I was Jewish for the first like 10 years of my life.
That's a long ass
More.
time.
Because I remember when
It's
I was
long
around
fucking
13, I
time.
was like, I can't wait for my bar mitzvah. Like, I can't wait for my party at Dave and Buster's. Like, I can't wait for my, my chance. But then, it never came. But I did have a Hanukkah here and there, because when you're young, my brothers and my sisters, they must have felt bad for me that I was always like, why does my friend Jared Morgenstein get to have a bar mitzvah, or I'm sorry, a Hanukkah party, but I can't? We only have one day of presents. He gets 7, and then I was so they that was how I grew up.
And then when did you come to Korea? At what age?
I came to Korea when I was 24.
And what made you want to come to Korea?
Surprisingly, I had just quit my job at Trader Joe's. I was finishing up my college. And I was like, what was I going to... I didn't know what to do. Yeah. I was like directionless. Yeah. And my dad was like, hey, Jamie, there's a great opportunity for you to go to Korea. But to be honest, I was like, fuck that shit. Like...
Really?
Yeah, because
you weren't really in touch with the Korean culture,
I wasn't.
right?
And actually, I a little bit didn't like it.
And why is that?
Like growing up, like I didn't like the fact that I was like scared of my dad all the time, and I like didn't like the fact that like the culture was so goddamn uptight.
Yeah. Yep.
But then
we're all just like.
But then
we all understand.
But then like I kind of bit the bullet, and I took a chance, and I came here to teach English in like where was it? In Jinju, a little town outside of Jinju. There's a small town called Hadong. It's like in the countryside of Korea.
I see.
And I really liked it.
Damn.
It could have been a mix because it was like the first time that I was on my own. Like, I mean, I partied like a lot. I'm like, I did a lot of stupid things because it was the first time that I lived on my own. You learn a lot when you do that because it's like they throw you, because like if you don't pay your bills, they're gonna turn the shit off. You learn the hard way, and then
Jesus
you're like,
Christ,
shit, I gotta start doing stuff. I can't, like when you grow up with your mom taking care of everything, and then you go out on your own, and you're like, oh, she did a lot of shit that I didn't know, and then you grow up.
And then now you're here in Seoul, so like how did that transition come about?
Oh, from me moving to Seoul?
Yeah.
So I went back after the year that I was here, and I finished up my my college. And then I was like, I really liked it in Korea. And then my dad, he mentioned, why don't you try to do some higher education, go to get your master's degree in Korea. And I was like, that's a good idea. It's an easy way for me to get back to Korea. True. And party for like another 4 years. Yeah. And that's what happened, kind of. And so I ended up going to Chungang University for my graduate program, but then that also let me live in Shanghai for a year. It was like a double master's degree program.
Wow, that's cool.
That must have been fun.
It was fucking great.
Shanghai for a year, damn.
But the bad part was that I had to go with my Korean class, and I'm not like a real businessman per se, and all these guys were like real businessy types. So like they wanted to do all like the businessy stuff, but I just wanted to like hang out in Shanghai and do like see Shanghai. But then they just wanted to eat like kimchi jjigae all day, and I was like, no, man, I want to go out.
Yeah,
why can't I go out? Yeah.
So what got you into powerlifting then?
I was really into bodybuilding, believe it or not. I think bodybuilding is the marijuana of gym sports.
Of course. Yeah,
the gateway drug. I really like that guy Kai Green a lot.
Yeah, shout out to Kai Green.
He's fucking huge.
I met him once actually.
You did?
In Korea.
Wow,
he
came to Korea.
He did like a seminar, yeah.
Oh damn.
He's a weird guy, and
he's a super humble dude. Yeah, he's definitely in his own space.
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, he talks a big game. Like his philosophies are crazy, and for that time when I was really into bodybuilding, I drank the Kool-Aid, and I thought it was really cool. But then I realized, like, do I really want to wear like a thong bikini and like stand up on stage and flex my muscles? Not really. And then one of my buddies back home in New York was like, hey, I'm doing this thing called powerlifting.
Oh, so you heard about it in Korea? Like you're like
from my buddy in the States. He like texted me one day. I was like, what are you doing with training? I'm bored. I don't want to do bodybuilding anymore. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm doing powerlifting. And I'm like, well, what's that? And then you
Right.
Google it, and then you see, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You find guys on YouTube
strong.
like Mark Bell. Mark Bell is a huge reason why I'm into powerlifting.
Yeah, he definitely like spearheaded like the
Hell yeah.
powerlifting
Hell
scene
yeah.
in
Yeah.
the States, and kind of like even introduced like CrossFit as well. He kind of like, just because like didn't he like, he brings in like people who does CrossFit
Yeah, who do
too,
CrossFit,
right?
yeah.
And he
CrossFit,
has his
like
own
everything.
podcast, Super Training, right?
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
is-
Powercast, I'm sorry.
that was huge for me also. You learn so much from all of those other guys. Brandon Campbell, I was really into him. Just guys that like, they were showing you something different.
Right.
Stan Efferding.
Stan Efforting's huge.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
I mean, Stan Efforting is a huge reason why I tell myself I can eat lots of salt and steak.
Oh yeah, same here. Same here.
I mean, it's a little irresponsible, but
Michael Hearn.
Michael Hearn, Michael
Yeah.
Tren. Oh, that's just a joke. Just a joke. Just a joke. That's just what that guy says. Yeah, Michael Hearn. I mean, like I like guys like Omar Yusuf, Silent Mike, like all these guys on
Yeah,
YouTube
Silent Mike.
are huge. Because the thing that's cool about those channels is it's not like, look, I got another like cut in my abs, bro. They're like, no, I put 10 pounds on my total. And then a couple months later, I put another 10 pounds on. You see upwards progression.
It's
and
performance
cool.
based
Yeah.
rather than just aesthetics.
And,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
cool to see that progression, right, of
Yeah.
a lifter. Like, oh shit, like a year ago he was only benching 225. Now
That's
he's hitting
cool as
315.
fuck.
Like it's
Yeah.
cool to see that progression. You know?
Yeah, and it's an insane amount. Like we're talking about like an insane amount of like weight. You know, they're
Yeah.
like bench pressing like 500,
Yeah. Some of
600.
these guys,
you know,
ridiculous,
some of these guys are
man.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they got their own little techniques and stuff, but that's what powerlifting is. You know, you try to like find, you know, it's all about leverage and like
Technique is a huge
technique.
part.
Yeah,
But also, I mean, on some of the lifts, you do need that brute raw strength. It has to be there. or
Like
else-
genetically.
genetics is a huge part.
yeah, definitely.
I mean,
course.
the top of the top, they're all just genetic freaks. But but I think also like brute strength is important and technique is super important. Like you can't be benching with your elbows out like this and expect to.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
How come
You're
there's
gonna
no,
blow
like,
your shoulder
How
out.
come there are no like Asian? I don't know any Asian powerlifters, like professional guys. Do you know anybody?
The Japanese and the Chinese are crushing it.
Chinese,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're crushing it.
Holy,
They're crushing
Oh
it,
my
yeah.
god, no,
Like, like,
yeah,
like we're talking about Chinese Americans or
You see, like,
Chinese,
No, no.
Chinese people from Taiwan,
the
Hong Kong.
Olympics. Have you
Yeah.
seen the Olympic weightlifting
Yeah,
people?
those guys they're another level. I mean, even Korea,
Really?
Changmidan or something like
It's
that.
The girl,
the
the
girl.
girl.
It's fucking
Yeah.
insane too. But
Yeah, she's a
like,
she's a
I didn't know
beast.
Chinese people are like powerlifters like that.
No, it's, like people from Taiwan, Hong Kong, even mainland China. I mean, these guys they show up to the IPF Worlds competition, which is like the biggest international
I bet they
IPF
crush it,
competition.
man.
They kill. People from Eastern European countries, they fucking kill it because those dudes like it's in their blood to like be beastly strong. You know what I mean?
Europeans?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Eastern European, like I don't know. Does that consider? It's like this is gonna sound fucked up. Where's,
Just say it.
where's Borat from?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dudes, like I think he won for the 83 kilogram weight
the
class. Some dude from like
Kazakhstanis are
Kazakhstan.
really
Yeah.
strong?
Guys are fucking
Well,
monsters.
Maybe they don't have anything to do there, so there's nothing else to do
Armenians, man.
there.
But like like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He came from a very like from Austria when it was fucking poor, like after like
Right.
World War II or some shit like that. The only way that he saw a way out of the shit is with his body.
Yeah.
So like
exactly,
I feel
man.
like a lot of these people from these poor countries, they're like, this is my way out. I know that I'm strong. I can
Right.
do something with this somewhere else, and I can make money doing it.
Yeah.
It's like their way out. It's like their, it's
Yeah.
their way to get out of their shit situation that they're in.
Yeah.
Really?
I knew you were into Mark Bell when I saw the strong like the knee bands and the knee
sleeves?
I
Yeah.
mean, and I was like, oh, this guy is like,
It's funny though because I use like because those aren't competition legal.
oh, they're not.
They're not.
they're not legal.
They're not like
What if you
his
fucking
brand.
blow your knees out?
His
Like,
brand.
His
isn't
brand's not.
IPF is a little bit weird in that like you have to pay them money for them to allow your product, and I guess Mark Bell like the timeline or the money wasn't right, so they don't allow it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know, so I had to go out and buy SBD, which is like a British company or
So
something.
didn't
something
it
like
throw you off? Because if you've been
that. It's
using,
different. It did.
right?
It did throw me off a little
Yeah.
bit because you're used to using one type
Right.
of product, and then
Yeah.
there's small differences, but those are what make the difference.
Yeah.
What does IPF stand for again? Like,
International Powerlifting Federation.
Is that like a worldwide thing, or is that like is there one in Korea, one in Japan? Like,
there's different branches.
international?
There's different branches all over the world. But so like one day their goal is to get put into the Olympics. They want powerlifting into the Olympics, like weightlifting is in the Olympics. But IPF would be the one to do that. There's a lot of different small powerlifting federations, but because IPF is the most organized, they have their shit together in terms of like the judging and the ruling, that they would be the first. That's like the ultimate goal, is to get that to the Olympics.
So like this whole I'm pretty new to power. Like I'm not really into I've never known about powerlifting that much. Like Brian's the one who introduced me to powerlifting actually. So like I heard about powerlifting from you.
Yeah.
So like
I don't really like
interested.
powerlift per se, but like I'm very into like strength
Now
training.
I'm starting getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
strength
powerlifting
training.
is more kind of like on the extreme
Right.
side of the spectrum, because you're really like using technique and leverage and all that stuff.
Right.
But like me, but you can always apply those certain things of powerlifting to like strength.
So whatever you're trying to do, right?
To lift more weight.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like do exactly what they do, but what they do is obviously something that you should consider, because that's how you get stronger.
In even in bodybuilding programs, there's something called progressive overload, which means on a week-to-week basis, you should be seeing an increase in either the amount of reps you can do with a certain weight, or if you can do the same amount of reps with a slightly heavier weight. So you should be able to see some kind of upwards progression, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the theory is that if you lift more weight over time and you see an increase in weight that you're lifting over time, that you're going to be building more muscle, because your body has to adapt to handling a different type of stimulus that you get from moving heavier weights on a week-to-week basis. Like that's how you build muscle, right? Like if you lifted, 10-pound dumbbells like this and you just do that every day, like your body's it's not gonna get a stimulus from it, because you've been doing the same shit.
Yeah.
But then if you up the weight, on a week-to-week basis, your body's gonna have to change, because it's a different stress, right?
Yeah.
It's a couple pounds heavier. You're gonna do a couple more reps,
Right.
So you have to be able to do that. And I think what powerlifting does is it builds a strong base of allowing you to lift heavy weight. And then let's say you want to do like bodybuilding or something like that. Your body can handle that weight, and you'll be able to like rep slightly lower weight for more reps, but that's going to elicit a stronger response for your body to adapt over time and build more muscle or get stronger,
So what is essentially the difference? Because the bodybuilders are fucking huge, man. You see these guys are like they're like every single muscle in their body's bulging out. So like
it looks like their body's covered in dick skin.
Oh shit! I never thought of it, but that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, or a dick with herpes, because it just has like all these bumps.
Well, that's like a lot of acne. Those dudes are probably on steroids.
Yeah, but like, what is the difference like
between bodybuilders and
like in terms of the actual like workout plan? Like, let's say I'm trying to be a powerlifter versus a bodybuilder, right?
Well, powerlifters focus on 3 big movements: the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. While a bodybuilder needs to look at their whole body, and they need to think about what area do I need to improve to balance it with the rest of my body. They think about proportions. They're thinking about like everything.
Aesthetics and
aesthetics, right? So they want to be able to have a good flow. They want to be able to have every muscle look nice,
symmetrical.
Yeah, symmetrical and all that shit. But powerlifters, they have to care about the number of what they're doing. So a lot of times a powerlifting workout can be a lot simpler. It could be like 3 sets of 3 with, 85% of their 1 rep max or something like that. And then maybe some small accessory movements to help bring up weak points in your body that will help you lift more weight. While as a bodybuilder will be like, let's do like 20 reps of 60% of your 1 rep max, or until failure, to elicit the most stimulus to build bigger muscle. So so powerlifting is more about like training your body it's about training your muscles and your central nervous system to like be able to generate power. But bodybuilding is more like being able to pack on or build as much muscle.
So for bodybuilding, usually you're doing more reps than you are
generally more
powerlifting,
reps.
right? And like, so you're not trying to max out when you're a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
No,
The percentage won't be as high as a powerlifter.
Yeah.
They're kind of looking for the squeeze, the concentration of the muscle, the blood flow, like the blood in how they say
You
that.
know, like how dudes are like, you're gonna get a sick pump today, right, bro? And they're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That, same thing. Yeah.
That's what they're trying to maximize on.
Yeah.
And whereas powerlifters, they're trying to maximize their strength, obviously. So
right. Do you need a spotter at all times and shit, man? Because like
there are times. There's times when I ask for a spot, but my Korean is not great, so I can't like. Positioning in powerlifting is super important.
Yeah.
Like when you're
The
benching,
setup.
you have to have an arch in your back, right?
lower back or upper back?
Lower back.
Okay.
Lower back. And you have to have your shoulder blades pulled back. So if someone pulls the bar off the bench for you to hand it to you, right? Bring it out. If they yank the bar out, you lose that shoulder tightness.
Right.
So you're fucked. Like that positioning is super important for your leverage. It's super important for you to keep your elbows tucked to bring it down, right? So like,
because once he fucks it up, then it's all fucked up.
It pulls like you have to set up your legs in a certain way. Like people think a bench press is just for chest and maybe arms.
It's not.
It's a fucking full body.
It is.
Yeah,
It really is.
it hurts everywhere when I'm benching. Yeah. So if you get pulled out, you're fucked. So a lot of times, like I have to like reinforce it in their head, like please don't yank the bar out of the bench and hand it to me. Like we'll do it together. It'll be a very romantic thing. Yeah. We can do it together. You know? So sometimes that's difficult. So like I have to make sure that there's people that I know who can spot me the way that I like to be spotted.
Yeah.
At the gym, and if not, then maybe I don't lift as heavy as I do in that day. Then I will.
Now, the thing about Korea is like I'm sure you both agree with me too. Like like Korean gyms are not as sophisticated and they're not as well set up yet as like Western gyms are. So they're not
they're I agree with you, but there are gyms that are very good now that have like all the hammer strength. But I wouldn't expect them to be in Gwangju. Like they're all in Seoul.
And they're super expensive, right?
Yeah, I mean the gym I'm a member of now. Do I shout them out?
Yeah, go ahead. Shout them out.
Yeah.
But sometimes they pissed me. Fuck off.
Then do whatever you want.
Then shout it out even more.
Wait. Why did they piss you off though?
They give me a lot of shit for shit that I don't do.
Slamming the weights or something?
That's what I always get shit about.
So I'm like the one guy. So there's a CrossFit section of the gym. That's where I train.
The functional training area.
It's like my little goblin corner. Like it's like me there by myself because like no one else really does powerlifting. I mean, I have a good crew now. But like sometimes there are these weightlifters that go back there and they don't clean up their shit and they don't put anything away. They'll do like box cleans or something. I'm not proficient with my weightlifting, but they put these boxes here and then they pull from the boxes. It's like a range of motion practice for them. But he breaks all these fucking boxes and then the lady thinks that I broke all the boxes.
Oh shit.
And so like she's just like, you have to make sure to clean up when you're done. You have to make sure to do this.
Dude,
and I'm just like, fuck this. And then like you walk out into the main gym and it's all a big fucking mess. And the fact that she has the nerve to be like, remember to clean up, it's like, that pisses me off. Because I make it a point to always clean up my shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Like in the States, it's like ingrained. Like you should be able to do that.
Because people will call you out.
You will get shit from that. Yeah.
People will call you out.
Always clean up after
you could
yourself.
get into a big fucking fight if you don't clean up your shit. Yeah. So that shit kind of pisses me off. I mean, there's other things that piss me off about that gym. But it's the best gym I've been to so far in Korea.
Like someone putting a cell phone on the bench.
Oh, I fucking hate that too.
I hate that
There's
shit.
so much stuff that
And what I
bothers
mean,
me.
by that, like some of these like older people, they might just put their cell phone on the bench just because like they want to just let you know that they're
Thinking about using it.
Yeah.
And they get a little offended when you're like, can we use it together? They're like,
Yeah, they don't. They
what do you
don't
mean
like that,
we're using it together? I'm using
There's
it
no
right
switching
now.
off it here, you know.
Yeah, no one wants to share.
Yeah.
What's mine is mine.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't feel bad when I hog the fucking squat rack for an hour.
Hell yeah.
I don't mind. I really don't. Because if they're gonna be there too for that long, then that's what they're gonna do, you know?
Yeah.
And to be honest, like the squat rack is pretty empty. I mean, I don't see a lot of a lot of bros here like hogging the squat rack. They're on the fucking machines doing whatever, you know.
do Koreans look at you and they're like, because you're fucking like,
because you're a beast.
Koreans don't lift heavy like normally. Even if you're a big guy, like they don't know how to lift heavy. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not supposed to lift that heavy. It's
I mean,
heavy."
I've been told like by lots of like ajashi, like you need to be careful.
Yo, you got the same thing, right?
You are gonna hurt
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
And they're like, I'm old. I've been injured.
So
Don't lift that.
Hold on a
heavy.
second.
Yeah.
So they'll like you'll be like, you know, a squatty. You'll be like, fuck yeah. I'm like, you're like in your zone, trying to squat this one rep here.
Yeah, and then they come
and they come
break-
up to you,
and
they make it a point to be
This
like, hey,
happened
listen.
before.
And you have your earphones on, so they're like,
Yeah.
just take off your earphones.
Yeah,
It's like-
it happens. It happens. I mean, but you know, you got to deal with it.
Dude, it makes a
You
lot
know, that's just what happens. And like a lot of times, I just ignore them. Like I remember this one guy kept trying to get my attention. I just didn't look at him, and that was fine. It was great.
Well, why was he trying to get your attention? He's
I
trying
don't
to tell
know.
you
He's
some shit?
trying to tell me something, but like I'm not here to listen to you. Like I'm not here to
Yeah,
talk.
I'm fucking here to do my shit, man. I hate that.
So me,
Yeah.
a while ago, I had a good crew at the gym where I train at. It was like me, this one of my best buds, Tom, and this girl Yona. She's like an amazing Olympic weightlifter, amateur Olympic weightlifter in Korea.
Jesus Christ! Like, what are they doing here? Like, are they all like,
She's Korean, but my buddy
Oh.
Tom just moved back to the States, and I miss him every day.
damn, man.
But we were like a legit team. We'd like
Yeah.
film shit all the time. Anyways, we used to like scream at each other, like in the gym, like scream at each other, and
Right,
like,
to rock, to pump you up.
Yeah, especially like if you're peaking for a competition.
Oh, yeah.
you're fucking tired. The last thing you want to do is go to the gym and lift some weights.
yeah,
You
yeah.
need adrenaline to just
And
kick
then
in.
I can't imagine this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like you bring like smelling salts with you. You bring like all the shit to jack you up before you can fucking go to lift because you're scared. Some of the weights that you lift, it's scary.
it's fucking
fail,
scary. You
yeah.
fucking die.
Can you explain to Joe what the smelling salt is?
You know, like ammonia.
Uh huh.
It's like
It's stingy, right? It's very
you smell it and then
People-
you're immediately angry. I don't know. I
Does
don't
it
know
smell
how else to
so
describe
bad?
it. No, it's not even like it smells bad. It's like it's like a rush.
Is it
into your
comparable
brain.
to wasabi? Like
No, not even close. I don't.
Is it a code word for cocaine? 'Cause
No,
this
no.
sounds like
It's
dog.
it's you know, like when people pass out and they need to wake
Oh,
them up.
right, yeah.
But it's no joke. I mean, it's like it's supposed to fire up your CNS, your central nervous system, to be able to like put a little bit more output like through your nervous
so
system.
powerlifters, they take a whiff of that
Yeah,
before
yeah.
they.
But you don't do this every fucking
No,
day.
no.
This
That's
is like
if you're,
this is
like,
like
maxing out.
competition
Yeah.
day.
Yo,
Like
so-
yeah.
What is it? It's like a little bottle. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
like it's a
hey,
little bottle.
Hey, sniff it.
It's like a little. No, if you put your nose in there and you sniff it, you're gonna be done. Like you won't be able to lift. It's like
Oh, really?
Yeah. I last competition, I feel a little bit bad because I let him
Seems
borrow
like,
it,
yeah.
but he didn't know how to use it. So this kid, strong fucking kid, puts his whole fucking nose, takes a hit, immediately starts crying, like tears.
Oh shit!
Oh,
so you can
shit.
OD on that shit.
Well, anyways,
that's crazy.
He ended up puking in the bathroom because he hit it way too fucking hard. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're not supposed.
So-
Like you take it, like you open it and then you go like this.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how you're supposed to take
It's
it.
like,
Yeah. That kid put his nose in the thing and like.
Jesus Christ!
And the thing is, like, all the people that were around him, they were like, "The fuck," like, because they know, like, you're not supposed. That's not how you're supposed to
everybody
do
knows?
it. But like, because people see on like the YouTube videos of guys like really going at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, so he thought that maybe that's what he needs to do. But like, that's not what. Yeah,
They probably built a tolerance to it
that
too.
too. That too.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean,
yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
brutal. Anyway,
That's
what were we talking
great.
about? My brain's not that good.
I have no idea. All I'm thinking about is the spicy salt.
Oh yeah. The smelling salts.
All right, so like one of the things that most people want to know, because like the bench press is often like referred to like, you know, it's
yeah, how much
it's
you bench, bro?
Yeah, like it's
That's
it's
the-
like
Right.
how
It's the
strong
benchmark.
how
Yeah.
strong are you, right?
Yeah.
That's what it often tells. So like for like what can you tell to our audience and or to Joe and myself, like what can you do to increase your bench press?
What can you do to increase your bench press?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So like for example, you mentioned
fun, yeah.
accessory work. So what do you mean by that? Like your lats or
You do need to use your lats to bench because you need to be building up tension in your lats to be able to fire it off of your chest. But to be honest, what works for me the best is pause benching. That's increased my bench the most over the past couple of years, I think. I actually work with The Strength Athlete. It's an online coaching company. My coach, Eric Baudon, he programs all of my stuff for me. But
You have a coach?
Yeah. No. It's online coaching.
Online coaching.
Like the service that I'm using, The Strength Athlete. They're called The Strength Athlete. They have some of the world record holders on there too.
Wow. So where can they go? Where can the people go to find
thestrengthathlete.com.
Okay.
It's a paid service. It's like $160 a month.
Okay.
That may sound steep, but like if you think about someone's drinking cost on the weekend,
right,
is probably more than $160
A week.
So you would you would say it's worth it. It really did help you to
if you like powerlifting,
get where you want.
if you liked powerlifting.
Yeah. Someone who's serious about
100%. It's I would do it a million times.
Oh, awesome.
Again, but pause benching is basically where you bring the bench down and you pause it. So it's on your chest here. You pause it 1, 2, and then you go up.
Right.
That's fucking hard. I can't. That
So
hurts.
the key is to keep tight. I'm getting a cramp in my back right now just doing the motion.
So what you mean by that keeping tight? Like you mean your like shoulders and like your back, like
everything.
trying to
You need
keep
to be
everything
locked in.
tight.
You need to be locked in on the bench first of all.
Right.
You need to always have tension. You need to squeeze the shit out of the bar to keep your hands straight. When you bring the bar down, you need to be holding it like on your chest here. 1, 2, and then you can shoot it back up. But this whole time, you need to be bracing your abs. You need to be like tight in your legs, squeezing your ass, right? To be able to fire it up.
Right.
But because you're pausing it there, you're not getting any like rebound. Like you see a lot of these dudes like bouncing the shit off of their chest.
Stomach
Like
chest,
they go down, they're just like doing, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're getting some rebound. Their butt comes off the bench and all this shit. Like that's what are you fucking training at that point? Right. The top of your shoulders. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
and what are some tips that like not to do? Like you mentioned like flaring your elbows, right?
I mean, here's the thing, like I when I bench, it's for powerlifting. I don't care about growing sick pecs, bro. I care about just being strong. I know that there is a reason why you do want to flare your elbows out when you bench, but if you want to lift the most weight that you can lift, your fucking shoulders aren't going to be able to do that by itself. You need to be able to use your triceps, your chest, right? Even your biceps, because your forearm is going to press against your bicep.
You're always sore here.
Yeah, you're going to get your forearms are going to be fucking sore. You need big forearms to kind of like a cushion here to build tension, right?
All these things need to work together. Your shoulders are also prone to injury if you go flare it too much.
I mean, there's a lot of shit that can get snapped up. Yeah.
So if anything, you kind of want to maybe you're not into like if you guys aren't into like powerlifting, but like if you want to build strength, maybe you can just kind of like tuck your elbows in a little bit.
The cue that worked for me the best is when you hold on to the bar, you want to pretend in your head that you're bending it.
Right.
So that when you're bending it, you're engaging your lats by squeezing them in, and you're also tucking your elbows in. So when you come down, it should be kind of like almost 90 degrees with your forearms and your elbows.
Does it like this is the question that I've seen some forums and shit. Like, does it have to touch? Does the bar have to touch your chest?
In order for it to be powerlifting legal, in order for the lift to pass, it needs to touch your chest.
But even in the bodybuilding aspect, don't you think that like the stretching is also good for maximum muscle growth?
What if it's not just bodybuilding? What if it's like you want perfect form, right? Would it be perfect form for it to touch your chest?
To be honest, I don't think that flat benching is safe, and I don't think flat benching even
the mechanics of it.
The mechanics of it shouldn't even be. You shouldn't do it. Like if you're going to be benching, if you don't care about powerlifting, I love to bench. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And also because I love to powerlift, I have to bench. It's one of the 3 main lifts that I have to do. So I have to do it. Right. But if you're just trying to like, get a sick pump and like get big, get swole, get jacked up. I'm trying to think of more ways to say it. But
that's then
I think dumbbell pressing, even like fucking machine pressing is good. If you don't care about that stuff. But I think if you are gonna bench, just fucking have it touch your chest. Like, what's
Right,
what, don't
because
be a bitch.
people are like, yo, like because you can, I don't know, like some people they feel like they can lift more if you don't have it touch your chest.
But that's because they're not going through a full range of motion. I mean, like, I think that from here to here, maybe you're using triceps and a lot of shoulder because you're not getting a whole lot of flex. But then from here to here, you're really getting that squeeze at the top.
Right.
Or is it vice versa? I don't know. But like, I think in order to get the maximum benefit of the bench press, you should go all the way down and then come all the way up. I think that's just what you should do.
And would you recommend incline bench pressing as well to kind of like, would that actually be complementary, like, you know, for strength for the regular flat bench press?
So Pete Rubish is like a huge lifter these days. He actually did an experiment where he exclusively incline benched for like a long time to see if it would make a big difference in his flat bench, and he said it didn't. Okay. But then there's people that respond to it differently. So maybe they were like, I am going to do some incline because it is working for me. So it depends on like the way you're built. Like,
maybe you're just lacking in that department, like on your upper chest. And,
I mean, the IPF coach in Korea says that if you're going to be benching, powerlifting bench, by benching powerlifting style, you are going to get stimulation on the upper pec anyways, because you're like bringing the bar up. Just the motion, the mechanics of it.
That's completely right. It's not like you're going straight up. You're kind of, there's a curvature to it. So towards your head.
Would you say that incline benching is not like really effective then?
No. It is.
It might be.
Yeah, it might be for you. That's right. It
depending on your body composition.
Exactly. And if you think that you're lacking in the upper portion of your chest, do it. I mean, add it. If you like doing it, do it. I mean, like that's another important thing. If you don't like doing something, don't fucking do it. Find something you like.
Right. True.
Like I hate the idea that like PTs kill you at the gym. They kill you, and so you end up fucking hating it. Like
that's true.
I remember when I first came to Korea, I got like a free PT thing. And then he just made me like hate everything that I was doing. And he was like, what do you think about signing up? And I'm like, fuck no, this was the worst. Like, like you have to like go slowly, make them like what they're doing, make them feel good. Like
there's definitely a progression to it. And
it's like, don't just make me do burpees because you want to make me feel like I did work. Like, like feeling sore doesn't mean you actually did anything good. You know what I mean? Like,
and you have a different purpose too.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
So.
Do you feel like, I mean, I like, you know, do you feel like, you know, powerlifting has some benefits in your daily life that people should maybe like look into it instead of being like, you know, like I'm super strong, you know, like that's it's physically, yes, that's definitely true. You're getting stronger, but also it's a mental, like, you know, stimulation too. Like it motivates you mentally. Like I am stronger, so I'm more confident.
I think I am much more confident since not just powerlifting, just since I started lifting in general. I think I've become more confident. I don't take myself as seriously as I used to, I guess. Maybe I never did, but I don't really give a shit.
That's awesome, man.
I kind of stopped. Like, when you start doing something that people don't do in anywhere, you learn to not give a shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I guess that's
a great point.
But then, like, I was reading an article. It's about Bitcoin. I'll just change the subject briefly. But it says that Korea wants to make Bitcoin like, they want to ban it or they want to regulate it strongly.
For about a month,
because of the article says sheep mentality or the herd mentality.
Herd mentality,
I think that mentality is prevalent in Korea, and it just, so when you see all those people like not thinking that you're weird for doing something, you just let it go. I think
that's a good point. That's good. We talk about the sheep in Korea.
Yeah, we do. But and like, okay, so there's the bench press, and what about the squats? I've been looking at your squats actually, and they are, you really go like deep, man. Like that's something about your squats that really, like, I was like very impressed about, man.
With this again, it's an issue with it being competition legal.
You have to go below the parallel,
below
but
parallel.
I feel like you go deeper than that.
I
think you hit your calf with your ass.
Holy shit! Really?
Like, not always. Not always.
I think. Yeah.
I don't think I have that type of mobility, to be frank with you.
That's fucking crazy.
I've seen it like on your Instagram.
That is like a technique. Like there is going to be a rebound from the bottom if you really hit ass to
Yeah,
grass. So there's
but-
going to be a rebound.
But I feel
And to
like
be
you
hon-
slow down at that point where you don't.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
that's-
get that advantage.
that's
That's
a-
why I was very impressed with your squats.
That's a
Is
technical
crazy.
flaw. That's why my squat's not that good. Actually, I
It's
hurt
good, man.
my back like a couple months ago, squatting, because I wasn't hitting depth. I was scared to hit depth. That I was afraid that I would fail. So these days I am trying to hit that depth. I feel like if you actually do hit depth properly and you're able to get momentum out of the hole coming up, that hitting depth is actually better than just stopping below parallel and then shooting up.
Oh wow, you actually think it's better? Because what I do is I just go right below parallel and I just shoot up.
But is that natural for you?
Yeah, it's natural for
If
you.
that's natural for you, then that's what you should do. But for me,
I feel like it hurts at a point if I go.
if you go
like,
too deep,
too
Where,
deep.
where does it hurt?
I think my knees.
Your knees hurt?
Hurt actually, yeah.
I would
Because
worry.
I do put on some weight, so like.
I would worry. I worry if I don't go deep that I'm gonna fuck up my knees. That's my worry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How deep do you like? What does it look like here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I look like a cheeseburger. I'm just kidding.
you're literally like a fold.
Yeah. Like it looks like I don't know. Like
No, like
I can't explain it. I
so
don't know.
normally your ass. Is
You'll
out.
see his ass. Like if you're looking from the front, like you'll see his
That's the
ass
whole-
cheeks.
that's the reason why we
like
do
the
it.
shape of that
Yeah.
shit.
You see
Yeah,
it.
he's got a nice fucking ass. No homo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, like, does your like? Let's say this is your ass here, right? It's like bulging. out. This is your fucking leg here, right? Like, are you? This is like your knee. Or hold on.
I don't get this.
Never mind. This is the wrong here. What am I doing?
Hey, this is your ass.
So does your leg, your thigh, kind of go below your ass? Then, like, does it arch down?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
Wow, man. How much? Because like I'm trying to improve my squats too, but like that shit's hard.
It is hard. A lot of it's balance issues, right? Like
Yeah,
people-
balance issues the
Yeah,
hardest
yeah.
because like I'm gonna fall on my ass for real.
I would just say if you're worried about balance, you should goblet squat for a while. Do you know goblet squatting?
No.
Can you explain that to?
It's where you
yeah.
hold like a kettlebell, or you can hold a dumbbell.
Oh, okay.
Like-
so
like
kind of like a
this.
front squat.
Yeah,
kind of?
yeah. But front squats, like you have to hold the bar like this, and I'm too fat to get the bar in proper
Get
position.
out of here, man.
So like you hold the dumbbell like this, and your elbows are a little bit out, right? But when you go down, your elbows should be inside of your knees. So
Oh, okay.
if you go that
Oh,
deep,
right,
you
right.
should be hitting.
Oh,
hitting
I
depth.
see.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not like I'm not giving a proper. Just Google goblet squat.
It seems like your squats seem a little bit upright, which is really good. I feel
Really?
like. Yeah.
a lot of people say beg to differ on that one.
Oh, really?
I fold over a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
Oh,
do
you mean
both.
your
I
upper-
do
upper body?
I do high bar and I do low bar. Those are two different types of
Oh, I
squats. So
see, I
high
see.
bar is like
I was just assuming that just because you go in depth and like you said, like your knees don't hurt
Yeah.
because of that. So I just assumed you kind of go more like upright, like when you go up. But anyways, you were saying you do both like high bar and
high
low
bar
bar.
and
Okay.
low bar. That's just positioning on where
Right.
it goes on your back. So
Yeah.
the difference could be as little as like an inch or two
Yeah.
on where the bar goes on your back.
Oh, I see.
High bar, they say that
Uh-huh.
high bar is the best strength building squat for your squat strength building wise is high bar, and then to show your strength, low bar is the best way to go.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I
I
mean,
would love to do we would love to do like an actual workout video.
Oh,
with
yeah.
you.
Oh,
So
do you
give
want to
tips.
collab on that?
Sure.
I think that's
No,
good.
absolutely. If that's okay with you, man.
Yeah,
I think
of
we
course.
should definitely
That would be
work on that.
awesome.
I
You
am a
just
gym rat. I like live in the
Yeah.
gym.
Show us the ropes. That would be
Sure.
awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Really, man. I'll be really
Do some
badass.
cocaine before we.
Hell yeah. You could try it. Just don't smell it too much. I don't want you to throw
How
up.
long do you like spend time in a gym? Like you go like how many times a week do you go? You
My
know?
coach has me going 4 times a week.
4 times a week.
Yeah, 4 times a week. So it's not that much.
But we're powerlifting 4 times a week, or are we?
Yeah,
just
but we're
like,
powerlifting 4 times a week.
Oh, okay.
And it's it's fine. I squat, bench, and deadlift. I deadlift once a week now, squat 2 times a week, and I bench 3 times a week.
so
4 times a week.
So out of the 4 days, you do bench 3 times a week.
Four these days 4 times a week.
Holy fuck! You're
Yeah.
maxing out 4
No,
times?
no.
Oh, okay.
Powerlifting, you only max out on PR, you only get a personal record for me on competition day. Like a gym lift doesn't count in my opinion.
Okay.
Like
you only
cool,
go
you
up to
on the gym, like that's cool. Put you on the platform. Yeah.
Well, you only go up to like 90%, like in the
Not
gym?
even.
Like 85, 80.
So I'm going by RPE scale. I think it's rate of perceived exertion or something like that. I just say RPE. And it's a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being it was super duper easy. 10 being I could only do that one. That's like maximum effort.
Yeah.
So the highest I go before a competition is maybe 8 or 9. You don't want to like burn out your central nervous system before you compete, you know, because then when you go to compete, you're going to be probably weaker. Because in order to max out on all 3 of your lifts on competition day, like after competition, like I have to lean on shit because my body hurts. Like
wow,
yeah.
Holy fuck!
Like every time we finish competition, me and all my friends would go out. And it's like, yeah, let's drink and party. Like the one time Jamie will drink like a year. And I'm like, I just want to fucking go home and sleep. Like, I feel like shit. Yeah.
All right, so we got 10 minutes left. I just want to kind of touch on nutrition, if that's okay with you. So, like, what are some of the things that you do to, like, prepare for, like, okay, like, maybe, like, a pre-workout meal? Let's start with that.
You know what's funny? I ate 2 Pop-Tarts in the morning before I worked out. That's a true story. That's
your actual thing, or?
That's your routine.
No, I mean because I knew that we had this meeting, so I wanted to be able to just something quick, go train, and then leave. And I was still 30 minutes late. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
But like if I could, it would be like I don't know, some toast, eggs, and maybe a protein shake. Nothing huge, especially if you want to work out close to like maybe an hour after you eat. You want to train. I think it should be a good ratio, like 50% carbs, 50% protein. If there's fat in there, I don't really count it. Just eat, but don't eat something so heavy where you're gonna feel like shit when you go to work out. So
you absolutely need to eat before you work out. Right? For those people who come out of work and they're like, you know, because most of us are like, we're people who are listening. They're like, they work like 9 to 6 or whatever they work.
I mean, I would if I had to work 9 to 6. In Korea, it's like 9 to like 11.
8. Yeah, 11 is more accurate.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's better to eat a couple of meals before you train, just so that you so that your body's, you know, has energized, the nutrition and the energy to put in the work. I mean, it depends on what work you do. Also, like if you work in a factory, like I don't know, you got to figure out when you feel better. Like after you know, And at that point, you have to think about how many days a week you should be training too. But
so like for most of your workouts, do you always try to hit one of those 3 big workouts, like the bench or the deadlift or the squat, or do you have days where it's dedicated towards your accessory?
No,
workouts?
it's always it's either I bench and squat on one day, or I'll bench and I'll deadlift on another day. That's how it works. So it's like it's kind of like that. I do at least 2 of the 3. Every time I train.
Oh, okay.
And then after those, I'll do some accessory work. But that's kind of like 3 sets of like 8, 3 sets of 7, something like that. If I want to do arms, it's like 3 sets of 12, something like that. But going back to nutrition, if you want to be a power lifter, strongman, bodybuilder, protein is your best friend and your like worst enemy, because eating that much fucking protein is the worst.
You'll shit it out?
Well, no, I have like 4 protein shakes a day because I don't have time to eat all that fucking meat.
So my question is, like, you know, like the scientists always kind of put out articles about how much protein you actually need, right? There's been documentaries done,
but those are on fucking basic people.
For the average, for a power lifter such as yourself, does your body require that much more protein?
I would say 2 grams of protein per kilogram of weight that you are. So
wow.
I'm like I'm like 90 something, 93. That's my weight class that I compete in.
So per kilogram. So like, would that be a gram
almost
per
200.
pound?
Yeah. So I'm like, that's like 200 grams of protein. Yeah. That's a lot of goddamn shit you gotta eat.
Lot of fucking protein.
Yeah. That's why bodybuilders eat like 20 meals a day, because like they don't want to eat like 3 humongous fucking meals a day.
Jeez,
you know, at nighttime, it's like, I don't want to eat anymore. I don't want to have this last goddamn shake. It's the worst. But, you know, weight moves weight to a point. But that's what you need to eat if you want to.
At the end of the day, your schedule is, do you work in the evening, late afternoon, evening shift?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
So right after work from like 4 to.
So even if you are, like you wake up in the morning, that's when you usually work out, right? In the morning?
No. I go to work.
Okay.
I go to work and then I get done with work.
Okay, so that's even more relevant. So you end at like 9 or 10, right?
I don't. Because I'm a kindergarten teacher. My work ends at like 3. I'm home by 4.
Oh, wow.
And then from 4 to then I can train. But I used to work at a leather factory, like manual labor leather factory. And I would work from like 8 o'clock to maybe 9 or 10. And then from 10, I would have my pre-workout shake, which is all caffeine, and I go lift weights.
Okay, so what my question is, like, what is the pre-workout caffeine that you recommend to people? That is healthy, maybe? Or...
No, I mean, as long as you're not drinking a whole shit ton of caffeine throughout the day, you can have a scoop of whatever one that you like. You could even just take a drink of black coffee, and that should be fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You don't have to. Don't spend money on some of this shit. I mean,
right.
I do because it's convenient. You just scoop it into the thing. You don't have to go buy coffee every day.
Right.
But you could just have a coffee. You don't. There's no magic pill. It's you got to put in the work to get stronger. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
And we did mention protein being like very important, right? But also like carbs.
Hell yeah! I mean,
is just as important.
Yeah.
Maybe just as important as
sometimes
protein,
I'll have a fucking candy bar. While I'm working out, I'll have a protein shake and a candy bar. Like while I'm working out, you just because you get so fucking tired.
Yeah,
like,
it's so tiring when you work out and shit. Yeah, man.
So would you say like compared to just your off days, on the days where you train, where you do actually do like deadlifts, bench, or squat, would you kind of take in more carbs on that day?
I
particular
do.
Day?
Like,
I do the same too.
I bring like an extra bag of cereal with me to work, and I'll eat it like throughout the day. Especially like deadlift day, like I want to feel like full.
Right.
Yeah. It feels the best when you're like full.
And it maximizes your performance.
So like I eat a little bit more carbs on that day, and I'll drink a shit ton more water that day than I normally do. So I'm like peeing like every hour.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I try to do.
Yeah, and what we were talking about before too, like you don't want to skip out on the salt too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, so Stan Efferding says like red meat, salt, like whole milk, like all this fatty shit.
Yeah.
I use Stan Efferding's like nutrition guidelines as like a way to eat steak and a lot of salt every day. I just got my test results back. Like my HDL cholesterol is like a little bit low, but other than that, like my blood pressure's normal, my LDL's fine.
Yeah.
And I eat fucking steak often. Like I eat red meat a lot.
Right.
So I think as long as you're training consistently and you're training hard, your body will adjust so that you're not in danger.
It's definitely
you can definitely overdo it. Make sure to get your blood checked every once in a while if you're gonna be eating like that.
Right, definitely, and it's safer for people who are like actually physically active.
Exactly. Don't just go eat a fucking steak if you work at a desk every day and then you go home and eat potato chips or something like that. Don't.
Exactly, man. Your body is smart. Like they will allocate the resources to the right places.
That's right. Yeah.
Depending on.
If you train consistently, you should be able to eat what you want when you want to an extent, but just make sure if you're an athlete to get enough protein.
Can't just be sitting on your ass.
No, you can't.
I think you mentioned this before. I don't know if you did talk about this during the podcast, but you're actually thinking about opening your own.
Oh yeah,
your own small gym.
That's like the goal.
That's awesome, man.
At the end of the rainbow is to have.
When's the end of the rainbow here?
I don't know. Maybe a year or two.
Okay.
It costs money, and to have it in Seoul is very expensive.
It is
the location, but I would like to have. I would like to open something with one of my friends, Yona. Maybe in the next 2 years, it's going to be like a strength and conditioning spot where people can come in, get good workout plans, nutrition advice and stuff like that, and just get stronger. Be able to live better. I hate seeing like advertisements about people losing weight when they don't need to lose weight and all this other nonsense.
God, that's mainly Korea, I think.
You're
fucking skinny. What are you talking about? What do you want to lose? Like your face fat? Like,
I don't know.
There's nothing else to lose.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's different. I mean, we grew up eating American food, right?
Yeah.
So our bodies are going to be different. Like the nutrition was totally different.
Yeah, it
like
was, man.
mac and cheese and hot dogs is going to give you a different, body than
Yeah.
I don't know, 된장찌개 and pop.
Yeah,
It's a
I
little
just feel
different.
like we're a little bit like we're different. Like,
Yeah.
like if you look at like Korean people and like Gyopos or Korean Americans, a little bit different.
One of my friends from graduate school, he was like, "It must be something in the water." Like,
Must be something in the
Gyopos
water.
look different.
Everybody says that
I don't
Gyopos
know.
are bigger and they're just like all y'all do is work out and just go to the beach. Fuck, man.
I mean, it's just all in the diet, I guess.
That's what happens when you grow up with Hulk Hogan.
Exactly, man. You're like trying to live up to expectations and shit.
Yeah, man. But just to wrap this up now, just because we're out of time. So anything you want to like give a shout out to or something like where they can find you on Instagram, your website?
Oh, I made
Yeah.
my Instagram a long time ago, so don't judge the name. I think it's
Already
It's-
judged.
it's at Jamie Awesome.
Jamie Awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm playing.
Yeah,
That's great.
I liked a pro wrestler named Mike Awesome a long time
Oh,
ago,
shit,
so
okay.
it was a little tribute to him. And also Heroic Barbell. If you just search that on YouTube, you can find my YouTube channel.
Heroic
Right.
Barbell.
And
is
if
the
they
name.
want to like get a T-shirt or something, can they like message you through like your YouTube?
They could, but the sizes and variety are now few in stock. But I have a couple
okay.
more. If someone wants one, I can mail it out to them. No problem.
Oh, okay.
How much would you sell this for? I'm serious.
Yeah,
I would've
I'm
bought this
assuming
shit.
you're trying to monetize.
I would
this, right?
definitely monetize on this, man.
I mean,
It's great.
I tried to sell them once, but then the guy who I was connected with was like, "There's the powerlifting. There's no market for it." So
Fuck that guy.
no, that guy's a little scary. I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. Just kidding.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe one day.
Okay,
Alright.
cool, man. We'd like to have you on again on the podcast.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for inviting me.
Dude,
This was a lot of fun.
man.
Hey,
It was
man, thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah,
This-
man.
Again,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
awesome.
I'm
This
sorry.
guy lives in
late.
Mapo. How long was the drive again?
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got a little lost. My navigation's old. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, maybe we could do definitely like a YouTube thing
Oh, hell
together.
yeah,
I think
that'd be
we have to
cool.
do that.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. All right, man. So you guys can check us out on Instagram at STBeef00 or iTunes, Google Play Music. By searching Squash the Beef or STBeef. And we have the video version on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So there it is, guys. See you guys later. Episode
right.
22
That was awesome.
with Jamie. Later.
Peace.
Peace.